back inside City Hall talking with Queens Councilman John Liu regarding Starr and his former radio show. Starr now says that, you know, he has his First Amendment rights to say whatever he wants to say on the radio, and he is annoyed with you, Councilman Liu. He is suing you. Your reaction?
Well, as I said, anything to distract him from little children. If he wants to come after me, that's fine. And I learned about the lawsuit on Tuesday night. We let him know that I'd be at City Hall on Wednesday all day to wait for the lawsuit papers to be served on me. No one ever showed up. They wound up faxing it in on Thursday. Suing me is fine. I mean, it's his right to do so. We live in a litigious society, and he thinks that...
His lawyer says because you referred to him basically as a pedophile.
Right. That I did.
And do you regret that now?
Not one bit. Any grown man who's talking about sexually assaulting a little girl, and I mean, I don't even want to get into the details because they're so vivid. He vividly described how he wanted to sexually attack this little girl on the airwaves and perform these deviant acts. It's disgusting, it's despicable, and anybody who makes those kinds of comments in the most public of manners is, in my book, a pedophile. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And, you know, and then to offer money to anybody who had information on where the little girl goes to school. That, in my opinion, deserves an arrest and criminal charges to be filed. So ultimately, the district attorney's office decided that they would take the best course possible, and they take that. And I'm not going to second guess the district attorney, but here is a man who needed to be held accountable.
What if Clear Channel decides 6 months from now we're bringing him back? I mean, the fact of the matter is his ratings in the morning are sky high, which means millions of dollars for the corporate company. What if they bring him back?
It's not difficult for any idiot out there to be willing to go on radio or TV and say do the most ridiculous things. And that's the only marketable value that this guy has. Anybody could do it. It doesn't take a great deal of skill or talent. Anybody could do it. It's just that most people have some basic sense of decency beyond which, a line beyond which they would not cross over to threaten to attack a little girl. I mean, that is just, it makes everybody shudder. I mean, anybody who has heard about this case, the first reaction is a full body shudder. That any person could say this anywhere, much less over the public radio waves. Now, in my opinion, this guy Torain endangered the welfare of this little girl. But it is the corporation, Clear Channel Corporation, that endangered the welfare of children in general. By having this kind of broadcast, it is not enough for Clear Channel to say that, oh, you know, we caught him, we terminated him, that's the end of story. That is not the end of story. It's like getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar and then simply returning the cookie and not making amends for it. What Clear Channel did was conscientiously and intentionally seek out this guy just months after he was fired from another radio station, knowing full well that there was no limit to what this fellow would do on the radio. And they wanted that because they wanted to make more profit. Now, you know, notice, like, if Clear Channel was honest about what they wanted to do, and they were like Howard Stern, who makes no bones about being outrageous over public broadcast waves, that's one thing. However, here's the problem. Here's the problem. We have a big corporate giant, Clear Channel Corporation. Their corporate creed, their mission statement, says specifically that they are in it for the betterment of the community, that they have the highest quality standards that are intended to have a positive impact on the communities that they broadcast in. How do you reconcile this kind of going out there and seeking this kind of outrageous lunatic and this kind of mission statement that's this family and community-oriented mission statement that they purport to have.
I want you to listen now to what, you know, he's made some outrageous comments as it relates to Asian Americans. We asked him about that. Let's take a look at what Starr had to say regarding that issue. What about the comments about Asian Americans? That's what I want you to address.
I love Asian people. Love
But
them.
why do you say such hateful things on the radio?
Well, I say hateful things about Negroes, Caucasians, in jest. I love Asian people, and Asian people know that because I've got a big Asian support group that has come out to defend me, and that will be brought into the trial.
Now I know you're itching to respond, but let's listen one final time to Starr. I asked him, why does he have to use the N-word as part of almost regular language on his show? Let's listen to that.
Let's not act like, because I've been spitting this word back out in the sense that people don't like it, that I'm not a man who's conscious of its damaging effects.
So if you're conscious of it, why do you use it?
It's not a violation. It's not an FCC violation. I mean, 90% of the music that you hear, sadly, kids want it.
Okay, Councilman, you have the floor.
Well, I believe he also talked about how it's obvious that he likes Asians because Bruce Lee was his hero.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
It's funny, too, because when I was growing up, kids often used to ask if Bruce Lee was my uncle. And I would often shrug it off and tell the other kids, yeah, he is. You better watch out because I'm going to have him kick your butt, you know. So this kind of comment it's commonplace. Asian Americans are accustomed to it. It doesn't make it right. And, you know, this fellow saying it, like, it doesn't bother me. It's offensive, there's no question about it, but it doesn't bother me because this guy is really meaningless. He's a stooge for a big company who's out there just to get more corporate profits at the expense of the community.
Okay, Councilman, I have a few seconds left. Bottom line here, Starr tells us, well, he told me off air, that he's coming back to radio and television. Do you believe that?
We're looking forward to seeing him come back anywhere. And we're looking forward, more importantly, to see the kinds of corporations that will pursue his services and comparing that kind of effort to whatever corporate mission statement they have. Clear Channel obviously made a big mistake here, and we're going to hold that particular corporation, Clear Channel, responsible.
Councilman John Liu, we thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
It is now time for a break. We will be back with the results of tonight's Snap Poll. Don't go away.